250 years is a long time in the life of a nation, but in another sense, it's really a mere moment in the eye of history. On July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson, drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from the heroes who stand among us tonight. Everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes. In those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving wilderness, settled a boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous Wild West. From empty marshes and wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together we mastered the world's mightiest industries, shattered history's monstrous tyrannies, and we liberated millions from the chains of fascism, communism, oppression, and terror. Americans lifted humanity into the skies on the wings of aluminum and steel, and then we launched mankind into the stars on rockets powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride. We captivated the planet with American culture, and now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country, because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of Providence, and these first 250 years were just the beginning. The golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before.
You know, I like to often listen to what the man is saying and listen to what he posts. And I like to dig in deep. I'm like, what is he saying here? And there was a phrase in that, which I'm sure you guys can take many different meanings and inspiration from what he said, but there was something he said there that really made me turn my head. And the part where he said the revolution started in 1776, but it's not over. And if you sit back and dwell on that, and you say to yourself, wait a second, this is 1776, here we are 250 years later. What do you mean it's not over? We're not fighting the way we did before. We're not, everything's fine, right? And your president just put out a video this morning, and he said, we're still fighting the revolution. It's not over. Now, you can take from that what you will, but to me, that's a call to arms. To me, I took it as, hey, we need to get ready. It's not over yet. And then you probably think to yourself, well, what are we having a revolution against? Well, you're watching it on TV. We all know we're in some sort of civil war in our country, but what if the revolution that we have to fight is also internal? What if the revolution that we have to fight is because we've been invaded? What if the revolution we have to continue to fight to this day is what other countries and our own people have done to us? You know the phrase, the president is here to protect us from enemies, foreign and domestic. And so when you sit back and you realize, where are we most vulnerable for attack? Yeah, there's countries out there that can lob bombs, but they're not really going to do, realistically, a whole lot of damage. I'm talking about the entirety of the country, they can lob a bomb and maybe hit a city, and a lot of people will perish. But what's going to take this country down? What have we seen over the last 5 years of their intention to take the country down? It is domestic. The invaders are here, and they need not be terrorists. It can be Democrats. It can be all the people who are protesting and doing everything in the street and trying their best, their hardest to destroy America. The Panicans, the Black Pillars, anybody who's not supporting America can be seen as a revolutionary, someone who wants to take us down. And we have to stand up and say, no, not today. Not today, Satan. It ain't going to happen. That's how I took that piece. And then, of course, once I see things, it makes me go ahead and start doing some research. And I want to share something I saw with you. Many of you may have seen this. Many of you may have never seen this. And then when you read it and you talk about who it is, which we're going to draw a parallel to as well, light bulbs should go off in your head. I want you to take a look at this. This is from Teddy Roosevelt, the same Teddy Roosevelt who was instrumental in putting together the Roosevelt Doctrine, which is now the Trump Doctrine, which both related to the Monroe Doctrine. This is what Teddy Roosevelt had to say. It's stunning. There can be no divided allegiance here, talking about America. Any man who says he is an American, but something else also, isn't an American at all. We have room for but one flag, the American flag. We have room but for one language here, America, and that is the English language. And we have room for but one sole loyalty, and that loyalty is to the American people. I found that today, and I just was like, oh my gosh. That defines where we are right now. That defines the new revolution. That defines what we are trying to get back to, and that defines what these people are trying to take away from us. Either a man is an American and nothing else. That's it. Not African American, not Black American, not Italian American, not, I don't know, Greek American, not Iranian American. American and nothing else. And if you can't be an American and nothing else, then you're not an American at all, which is what Teddy Roosevelt said. And then he demanded exclusive loyalty to the United States, and he rejected all the hyphenated bullshit. And I can't believe at 65 I'm reading this for the first time. I will never call myself a Black American again. I will never let anybody else call me a Black American again. I am an American. My loyalty is to this country and that one flag. The revolution we are fighting is for people who go through the streets and wave other flags, including what we've been seeing over the last 72 hours. Put your Iranian flags down. If you want to wave an Iranian flag, head over there. You're an American or you're not. You're either an American or nothing at all. The bullshit about, oh, this is the great melting pot and everybody, no, you're an American. People from the original revolution didn't come here and call themselves, what are you? Well, I'm a British American. Nope, they never said that. They decided to start a new land. They decided to fight a revolution so that they could be their own people under one flag, under one loyalty. America. They weren't British Americans. Where did the hyphenation come from? During World War I, Teddy Roosevelt emphasized that immigrants, back then they didn't have to worry too much about illegal, there was just immigrants, must fully abandon all foreign ties to be considered true Americans. Did you know that? Teddy Roosevelt said, I don't care where you come from, but if you got to come here, you're an American. You're going to take the oath. You're gonna be an American citizen, which means all other flags don't mean anything. It almost sounds like Christianity. You will forsake all other gods. And I'm not equating it, but I don't doubt that some of the wording was taken from biblical meaning. Forsake other flags. You are no longer with them. You are now an American. I insist on it. I insist on one flag. For Teddy Roosevelt, Americanism was a matter of spirit. Where's spirit gone? Where's our spirit as a country? And also a belief in democratic principles, not your birthplace. I don't give a shit where you're born. He required total devotion to America. So let me ask you, how can we have total devotion when so many of us got used to? We were programmed to put a little hyphen there. What are you? I'm an Italian American. Oh, okay. What are you? I'm an Irish American. What are you? I'm a Spanish American. And the whole time, people like Teddy are like, oh, you guys don't get it. What the hell are you people doing? What have you done? How did you take all of this, where you came here to start a better life, where you said this was the land of opportunity, but you brought that shit with you? Oh yeah, I'm an Italian American. I'm a Black American. I'm a Somali American. The essence of going back to that is what I think President Trump was saying. The revolution continues. The revolution is still going on. We're still fighting it. And then when you sit back and listen to what I just said, whether you agree with me or not, at some point, I've never seen anybody in any other country put a hyphen over there. So what are you? I'm an American Swiss. I don't know. Yeah, I'm an American Italian. No, they're Italians. They're Swiss. They're Australians. They're Canadians. I don't see many. I have never heard of somebody being an American Canadian, a Spanish Canadian. No, you're Canadian. And then when you hear what I'm saying right now, I'm pretty sure some of you are like, well, how the hell did this happen? One day at a time, 1 year at a time, and just completely strike down the America that we knew. The America that everybody my age used to stand up every single morning and pledge allegiance to. By taking the Pledge of Allegiance away from schools, or some schools, they're taking an integral part of what it means to be an American out of the most impressionable people in our country, kids. I pledge allegiance to the flag for the republic for which it stands. And every single morning, we understood. We knew what that meant. I wasn't a Black American. I was pledging allegiance to that one flag. There weren't multi-flags there weren't no LGBTQ flags. No, none of that stuff. I guarantee you, most of you, there weren't those flags in your homeroom either. So the revolution most assuredly continues. And the quote that Teddy Roosevelt said here, that quote represents a push for national unity and assimilation. And this is what's really, really crazy when I started digging in. It's a push for national unity and an assimilation. You ready for it? During a period of global conflict. And I read it this morning, as I do all my research, because I do a lot of research, and I sat back and went, "Oh, I missed it. I've completely missed it. I have not allowed myself to tell people something that I think is so integrally important." People have their own agendas and what they're going to do and what they're going to say, and have to post something on Twitter. And the essence of what we're supposed to be doing, pledging allegiance to this country with no hyphens. And after I read that, after I hope you read this right now, let's read it again. There can be no divided allegiance. Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. I don't even know what year. I'm sorry, I'm not a history buff. I don't even know what year Teddy Roosevelt was president. But he wrote the actual words. There can be no divided allegiance. Any man and woman who says he is an American but something else isn't an American at all. Take that to your personal life. If you are a married spouse, if you're a married man or married woman, and you say, well, not on Tuesdays, I get to screw around, then you're not married. You're not devoted. You haven't pledged allegiance to that other person. But, you know, we kind of have some things that we do on Friday and Saturday. Then you're not loyal. The essence of everything and what the Democrats have tried to do is try to tell us that loyalty was bad. Oh, President Trump wants people to be loyal. Is that a bad thing? Isn't loyalty what we want in the entirety of our lives? We want our spouses to be loyal. We want our children to be loyal. We pledge loyalty to those same children. That's the essence, the fabric of what makes people strong people, being able to A, pledge allegiance, and then backing up that allegiance with loyalty. Are you stepping on some toes? Well, it ain't me. It's Teddy. We have room for but one flag, the American flag. We have room but for one language, the English language. We have room for but one sole loyalty, and that is a loyalty. Basically, what it's saying is to each other. When you read that as like the anti-Democrat Party creed. Nothing in there do they want to uphold. You can see it for yourself. There's nothing there that they hold dear. They don't want you to just have one flag. They don't want you to just have one language. They don't want us to be one people. They think that we have to be diverse. They've been pushing diversity and inclusion, and that, you know, everybody has their own thing. But the one thing that matters, they don't want us to have. They don't want us to have the allegiance, and they don't want us to have loyalty. Which, after reading that and seeing that short 3-minute video from President Trump, I realized today, I told you I was getting more and more confident, but I realized today I'm like the anti-Michelle Obama. I have never been more confident in my life politically. If you remember her, she's like, I've never been more proud of my country because they voted in Barack. I've never been more confident in politically until I read that and see what President Trump is trying to do. So when you see people, the Panicans and the Black Pillars, and they all talk about something they know nothing about, none of them knows the plan. None of them knows the end result. Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump, both said, we're not telling you. Why would I tell you? Because he shouldn't have to. I'm like, oh man, I missed it. That's right. I shouldn't have to tell you. If you pledge allegiance and loyalty, then you understand the man leading the country is doing so in your best interest. You don't question it, even though we were taught to question all this stuff. And then with social media, we're pointing fingers. Oh, I don't think President knows what he's doing. Pam Bondi sucks. Cash Patel. Wait a second. Go back here. I wish I knew the year. Go back here and imagine what things would be like all around if we had that one loyalty. The plan that's unfolding right now is testament to what Teddy Roosevelt said. And it's testament to what President Trump said. Revolutions don't end. Accept that. A revolution doesn't end, it evolves. But it should be evolving with the spirit of 1776. That spirit of 1776 should still be echoing in each one of us right now. That's how I truly feel. I truly feel, if you feel that way, if you feel like what Teddy Roosevelt said back then, whenever that was, then it becomes clearer for you. It becomes clearer what they've tried to do, and it becomes clearer how you need to respond. The revolution isn't over, which means you still have to pick up your musket. You have to fight for that flag. You have to fight for what you hold allegiance or swear allegiance to. You have to fight for each other. And you have to be loyal like you've never been loyal before. If you accept that we are in some form of a revolution, or the revolution from 1776 continues, then have that kind of spirit. You remember what those guys had to go through? Like, oh, we're going to get in a boat and go across the ocean. Some of us are going to die while we're trying to get there, but we know we need to get the hell out of England. We want a better life. And when we land there, okay, what are we going to do? You are going to go chop some wood. You are going to start making this. You are going to go hunt. Everybody's going to do their part, because we have to. If this experiment back in 1776 is going to work, it required everybody to have the same vision and allegiance. If you don't have that same vision, allegiance, and loyalty, you should have never got on the friggin' boat. So each one of you were given that. You didn't have to come across the ocean in an old boat, puking your guts out, getting all kinds of diseases. Hopefully you can make it to the land. You don't even know where it is. Looks like it's that way. You didn't have to go through all that. You didn't have to go hunting for a boar and hopefully you could eat. You didn't have to fight Native Americans/Indians. You just wake up in the morning and flip on a light and go get on X, or turn on TV and watch a war. But now I think you need to step back and say, yeah, the spirit of 1776 must live on, and it must defeat all of the enemies, foreign and domestic, that stand in our way. I just hope that this struck you as well. It's incredible. Enough of me talking, because I get I get a fire. I get a fire when I read these things. I'm like, man, this guy back then was telling us, what was it, 17th? Somebody tell me, SV, when was Teddy, I could probably look. Hold on. Teddy Roosevelt, when was he president? World War I. So what's that, 1913? Let me just check real quick. Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt, the 26th president. He died in 1919. So he was president from 1901 to 1909. Long time ago. And these guys were brilliant. Now we just have to do is follow the recipe and get back to where we're supposed to be. That doesn't mean that we didn't have problems along the way. but slavery was already gone. So it wasn't like, you know, wasn't like we had to fight that. We overcame that. Women got the right to vote. But through it all, we were still Americans. There wasn't a single slave that said, oh, I'm a black American or I'm a slave American. I'm a female American. No, man. My dad came from another island, came here, and he got to get his citizenship, and there was no hyphenization. I'm not a Jamaican American. I'm an American. I'm from Jamaica. But this is the flag I pledge allegiance to now. All right, let's move on. SV sent me, what'd you send, SV? Oh, you said, hold on. He sent it to me. Yeah, 1901, 1909. Great. You know, sometimes when I start these shows, I think to myself, man, I wonder if people think I'm a complete nut sometimes. But then, you know, I realize it's okay. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just trying to show you. I'm not trying to show you anything other than what President Trump is saying and what our past history has shown us. All right, let me show you this. Take a break here. Today, one of today's sponsors is PDS Debt. They are a debt company. Let me see if I can't show you their website real quick here. PDS Debt. 1 second here. I'm trying to find their website before I start. Here it is, PDS Debt. And if you guys haven't seen PDS Debt, they can really help you, especially this time of year if you're having any sort of problems. And what I mean by problems, it's like if you're underwater. There was a story that came out yesterday that said something like 47% of homes in the country, the people are underwater. You can go to PDS Debt and it can help you with what you're doing. I mean, if you try to get out of debt, I'd love to see you be debt free. So there's headlines, there's all kinds of articles, and you read the stories, then the impact shows up in your own numbers. Balances on credit cards going up, fees piling up. That's when it's time for PDS Debt. Minimum payments. You know, many people look at a credit card statement and they pay the minimum. And those are designed to put you in prison. They are designed to stretch debt out for years. And it just keeps you on a hamster wheel. And PDS Debt has already helped hundreds of thousands of people reduce what they owe and take back control. Whether you are struggling with credit cards, personal loans, medical bills, PDS Debt has custom options to help you get out of debt. They go beyond the numbers to understand your unique financial situation and craft a personalized plan designed just for you. There's no minimum credit score required. They're here to help you save more, pay off your debt faster, and start putting money back where it belongs, in your pocket. PDS Debt is a A+ rated organization by the Better Business Bureau, and they boast thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and holds a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. And that's because PDS has helped thousands, hundreds of thousands of people get out of debt. Every month you wait costs you more in interest and fees. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. If I had needed this product as I was moving forward, it's what I would have used. If you have a problem right now that you feel like you can't get out from underneath, give it a try. You'll never know until you actually try. When the numbers are clear, act. Take back control in 30 seconds. Get your free, F-R-E-E, free personalized assessment and the best option for you at pdsdebt.com/Barry. That's pds.com/Barry. pds.com/Barry. All right, we're going to get this party started. Be right back.
One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet whom millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism